Thank you for taking time out with Premier Sports Officials Association. Sean Johnston here from Omaha, Nebraska, bringing you training topic over grading fouls. Listen to a podcast this past week from a NCAA Division I Final Four official who lives in Nebraska, and he was saying we need to immerse ourselves into watching our game film. And when we're watching game film, yes, mechanics, yes, appearance, yes, mobility, yes, communication. But this training tape is grading our foul calls. When we're watching game film, we have to understand, did we get the call right? If we did, why did we get it right? Did we get the call wrong? If it's wrong, why did we get it wrong? And then really process, were there fouls that needed to be called that weren't called? And were there fouls called that were not needed to be called? So really take time this week, a goal, one game film a week, watch it. This week, while watching a game film, grade your foul calls. You can use this grading scale. A correct call, give yourself 7 points. The call was made on the court and it needed to be called. So correct call. Then you have the marginal calls. It's a foul call made, but did we really have to make it? So we know why we called it, but was it necessary? 4 points is a no call. So this is a call that was not made, but we needed to call it a foul. And then incorrect call. Call was made on the court, but it was not a foul. So if you just take a look at this grading scale, officials, it's better to have your no call than an incorrect call. Realize how impactful and important fouls are on a player, on a team, overall of a game, and we do not want incorrect calls because that is closer to bonus, awarding points erroneously. That's closer to disqualification, getting a player on the bench. So really focus of not having incorrect calls. With that being said, we're going to take a look at a game played last week, and we are going to grade fouls. All right, so this is going to be a decision where a foul was not called. So what we are going to grade, is this a correct call, as in this is not a foul? Or is this a no call where a foul needed to be made? This player, this defender, primary coverage area, center official, he's going to see the beginning, middle, all the way to the end. So he has primary judgment on this call. If we have a whistle and it's not from the center official where it started, the secondary official can be the lead official because it goes into the lead official's area. Goal is to have one whistle. We have no whistle on this play. So let's grade it. Whenever a player goes down to the ground, we have to ask ourselves, how did they get there? On this play, we have the defender bringing their feet together, losing balance, and falling to the ground. We do not have the offensive player doing anything to cause this defender to go to the ground. There's no extension. He just stops, and then the defender goes down to the ground as he's trying to stop with his feet together. This is a correct no call by the center official, and good job by the lead official not being fooled on this play. Correct no call, 7 points. Next play is going to be a verticality play. All right. Is the defender vertical? Is he not vertical? Does the contact affect normal basketball movement? Does it not affect normal basketball movement? So the call on the court is a foul. So as we go back, this is only going to be one official's judgment. This is going to be a 50-50 play, and the primary coverage area official is the lead official. So as we play this out in slow motion, number 14 never legally gets vertical. He has zero verticality here whatsoever. His arms are in front of his body frame. As the shooter goes up, the arm actually comes forward even more and makes contact. So now the judgment is this: illegal contact or incidental contact. This is what I would call a marginal foul call. Yes, we know exactly why this official called the foul. No verticality and the arm going forward and creating contact on the shooter. However, the shooter made the basket. The shooter came down clean. So now we could be like, yes, we know why you made that foul call, but could we have passed on it? This is a foul on number 14 early in the game that did not prevent a normal basketball movement. It would be okay to pass on this and talk to number 14. Hey, we need you straight up. We can't have you there. If he misses that shot, it's going to be a foul every single time. So, yes, 5 points, but it would have been okay to pass on it. This next play are tough plays to officiate. These two players both have a legal right to a position on the basketball court. And we have to ask ourselves, did the defender initiate contact and impede the movement of the offensive player? Did the offensive player displace the defensive player illegally to gain an advantage? So right now, 21, arms out, holding his ground on the court, and the offense is moving forward, initiating the contact. So what's the result afterwards? So 21 is displaced, but he is able to continue to play defense. So that displacement is not enough for a player control charge. Now you see here, this defender is what they call walling up or leaning on the offensive player. As long as they are not pushing and sending that offensive player back, they are allowed to apply equal pressure so they are not displaced and put at a disadvantage. And it was actually the offensive player own movement to fade away and spin away from the basket. So we're going to watch it in slow motion from the beginning, middle, and end again. Again, this is a 50-50 judgment call. Primary coverage area, lead official. Let your lead official on this type of play have all judgment. 21's legal. Offense moves forward, does displace a little bit, but 21, he is still able to defend. We're going to allow 21 a little lean on because he doesn't force the offense completely away on his own. Offense on his own, spins, fades away. This would be a correct no call for the lead official. 7 points. Yes, there's contact, but after the contact, neither player is at a disadvantage. The offense is able to do a normal basketball move. Remember that first foul on number 14, the marginal that we could have passed on? But he has one foul now. He is now in the backside of a rebound while the offense has his arms backwards behind their body. Shot goes up. Both players go up for the basketball, and we have a foul called on the court on number 14, blue. Second foul on this player. This is what we're talking about. We have to love every foul. We have to realize the impact foul calls have on a player, on a team, on a game. This is two starting big men, and one has 2 fouls, one has 0 fouls, advantage white. All right, so we're going to go back and grade this play of, is this a correct call, as in is a foul needed to be called? A marginal call, we understand why you called it, but it's okay to pass on it? Or is this an incorrect call? So slow motion. Shot goes up. We have the number 14, just a very slight, minimal forward movement, but it doesn't displace his opponent. Then both jump up legally. Yes, it is legal to reach over the back, but he does not displace, and that white player is not moving forward. Ball is loose. Ball is loose. It did not prevent that white player. That body contact did not prevent that white player from getting the rebound. This would be an incorrect call, so a foul made, but this is not a foul. We cannot have these fouls on impactful players, especially early in the game, because this is going to send number 14 to the bench with his second foul in the first 3 minutes of the game. The last teaching point on this play, once that shot goes up, we do not have primary coverage areas. To get this type of call correct, officials, you cannot watch the basketball. Your eyes, once that ball is released and you don't have the shooter, your eyes cannot go up. Right now, our eyes, that ball is released, need to come into this area to see the beginning, middle, and end of this contact. We cannot be watching the basketball. Eyes on the players boxing out, and any official can get the big fouls on rebounds. There is no primary coverage area. Another 50-50 call for the lead official. We have the offense moving forward towards the basket, creating all the contact, which is what they want to do. The defense is not moving forward, initiating the contact. Grading this foul, this is a correct no call. Officials, you're going to get from coaches, man, there's a lot of contact down there. And that's where our answer is yes. In my judgment, it was offense-initiated contact, one, but the defense was not displaced. Second, offense-initiated contact, but the defense was not displaced. And then officials understand when the offense initiates that contact, there is going to be a reaction by that defender. The defender will move. But if that movement is caused by the offense initiating the contact, we ignore that movement because it is the offensive player that put themselves in that position. So grading this, 7 points, correct, no call. Once again, this is a 50-50 call. Only official that would or should have the whistle is the lead official. A lot of action in a very short amount of time. Defense moves forward, ball comes loose, fast break, goes up in the air, to the ground, put back. Now let's grade it. Did we as a crew get this correct? And we're going to go in slow motion to grade this. So the first judgment, we have head and shoulders past the defender. So potentially a block. But did that contact impede normal basketball movement? I would argue no. Secondary defender comes over, reaches for the basketball, makes contact with his hand on the basketball, the ball comes loose. So in a split second, if that player would have come down and controlled the basketball, we would have a held ball. Instead, ball is loose, off to the racetrack as we go. Now we're going to be picking up the defender. In transition, understand this is pregame talk. Center official, you are going to have the best look at transition plays at the basket. Lead official many times is hustling. They're trying to get ahead of the play, and they get straight lined. All right, so center official here, you are going to get the legality of this defender. 2 feet on the ground, facing the opponent. This is legal guarding position. Once they get legal guarding position, they can continue to move laterally, obliquely, backwards. They cannot go forward and initiate contact. Who went forward and initiated contact? The ball handler. This is all offensive initiated contact, which is going to cause an effect on that shooter but it is his responsibility for this contact and the result of the contact. Now, verticality. Number 13 on his own brought down his arm. But did he contact the shooter with that loss of verticality? Again, notice, center official, awesome look at this. This is a correct no call. There was no contact by number 13. Lead official, if you don't see it, you cannot call it. All right, don't guess. Now, we have to protect that shooter all the way down to the ground. We have a second defender to officiate. Does he make contact? Does he not make contact? Does he jump vertical? Does he not jump vertical? The judgment was vertical jump, no contact. Yes, this shooter went down to the ground, but it was because he initiated that contact that caused him down to the ground. This is grade 2 correct no calls. Legal guarding position, loss of verticality with no contact. The second defender did not initiate contact on that airborne shooter. Good job by the crew of slowing it down and seeing the play and making sure it was legal all the way around. Next play is a similar play with an airborne shooter and contact on the airborne shooter. The difference, number 13 never had legal guarding position. He was not in front of the offensive player with his feet on the ground facing him. This now turns into a safety play. See how this back is bridged? That is dangerous. Any contact on an airborne shooter from behind puts this offensive player at risk of landing awkwardly and hard. And even though he lands on his feet, he is now farther away and propelled so he can't stop and get back on defense. So normal basketball movement of stopping and playing defense, correctly called a foul by this lead official. We talk about cadence whistle in previous training tapes. This is an example where we need a cadence whistle. We do not want two whistles at the same time on this play. Trail official, hold. Let the primary coverage area official have first shot at it. For some reason, if he does not call it, then get in there 1 second late to get the 100% foul called. So we hear a lot of times, stay out of my area. That is true on the initial call. But if that primary coverage area official doesn't blow and everybody in that gym sees the foul, then yes, cadence whistle, get in there, and we cannot miss the 100% correct call, making contact on the airborne shooter from behind, count the basket, 1 free throw. Next play is not going to be a foul call. So we have a reach, and then we have a dribble to the basket. We have a player going down to the ground and a made shot. So now let's grade it. So first off, it is legal to reach and slap at the basketball as so long as you don't make contact which impedes normal basketball movement. So we have a reach, we have contact on the leg, but this offensive player is continuing to dribble and make his move towards the basket. This would be a correct marginal no call. Could we have called it? Yes. Did we need to call it? No. So now we have to continue officiating this defender. He has legal guarding position, 2 feet on the floor facing the opponent. Head and shoulders is now past this defender. Once the head and shoulders get past the defender cannot maintain, move forward, and keep contact on this ball handler. What we see here, we're going to transition to this defender's feet. We have to officiate the defender's feet, and you're going to see his feet move towards and forward away from the basket. So this is going to be a block. We have head and shoulders past the defender continuing to move forward, affecting this shooter to the ground. So yes, you can have and ones. It didn't affect the normal basketball movement of the shot, but it affected the normal basketball movement of staying on their feet as a shooter coming down, and now he's not able to get back on defense. So correct marginal call on the reach, and this is a no call on the shot. This is a foul, and it needed to be called. We are going to have a foul called on the court by the center official, and now we're going to grade it. Was it correct and needed to be called? If so, why? And we're going to go into slow motion. Again, we are officiating the defender's feet, and we're going to see here legal guarding position, moving forward into the dribbler. And this is a dribbler still, so this is correctly called foul. Defense moving forward into the dribbler, affecting normal basketball movement, and correctly adjudicated prior to the shot, inbounds underneath. Officials watching this training tape, this is the type of action that coaches get frustrated that we do not call. It has to be on the defense to make sure that the offense initiates all the contact. If both are moving forward into each other and affects normal basketball movement, foul on the defense, clean up the game, and keep it clean. Correct call, 7 points. As we conclude this training tape, this is the importance of focusing on the primary coverage area and not the ball. So the lead official's looking to rotate here because he has a post matchup on the other side and the ball is on that side. This is the importance of not sprinting over officials. Walk over, because now that's how quick the ball switches to the other side. This post matchup goes to the other side. So good job of stopping the rotation and staying in position and keeping the eyes on this post matchup. This defender is now having his arm come underneath. This is a hold. If this lead official was watching the ball, there is no way he would be able to see it. So hold, and now we have a foul call. All right, so a lot of things to learn from. Rotate if your eyes take you across the lane, but don't run. Second, you're not running because it's easy to come back. Third, do not watch the ball when it's not in your area. We have to get these huge holds in the post to clean up the post, clean up the game, and keep it clean. Correct call, holding during the dribble, out of bounds, baseline. Thank you for taking time out today with PSOA and reviewing what is a good grading scale and how to grade yourself and your crew on a game. Find one game this week, whether you worked it or 3 other officials worked it or 2 other officials worked it. Grade the fouls. Correct call, why is it correct? No call, why did we miss it? Incorrect call, was it positioning, was it timing, or was it foul threshold? I will say, the lower the basketball, the new you are as official. When in doubt, call the fouls, keep the game clean. Veteran officials who have a lot of reps, when in doubt, have the reason, have the purpose, and love every foul, because we know every foul is impactful. We want to make sure the fouls we call are there. Don't have to call everything you see, but you have to see everything you call. Until next training tape, officials, remember, you're only as good as your last call.